I couldn't find all of them. I have another box that I haven't unpacked since I moved to the house, and I couldn't even tell where, like, I couldn't find it. So the ones that were available, I did bury them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. I'm gonna go put on my pink robe. And then can you do me a favor and get the out of the water dispenser in the fridge. Can you put water in the kettle for me?
Yeah.
Could you use your headphones, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. Get a lighter.
Isaiah was explaining to his friend on the phone that his mom is into witchy stuff with her friend, hippie friend Carla, who does witchy stuff. On my way out, and he's like, "Should I be concerned?" He's like, "You've been really, like, the last 2 days doing a lot of hippie stuff," and I was like, "Okay."
He knows me.
Yeah.
Okay. First time sharing a full moon ritual. Okay. I'm gonna also post the pre-video that I did previously to the group. Or actually, it's already on there. Okay. So, got the tea on, or got the kettle on for tea. And so I'm going to go ahead and reread the excerpt that we did for the last time. I feel like that's the energy of this reading. Okay, loosen your grip. You can only lose what you cling to. Buddha. You're either in flow with the universe or you're not. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are the things we most need to let go. The boyfriend, the coffee, the job, the friendship, the vino, the overworking, the people-pleasing, whatever external thing you cling to in an effort to feel whole or like you are enough. The things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the one that is desperately scary to leave empty. But by keeping that space covered with something that doesn't serve us, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will, and we cast a shadow on our light. We cling on tightly because deep down we know that unless we control, cling to, and hold on, we feel that relationship, job, or insert whatever here might not stay on its own accord. But to loosen our grip, we open space for the light to come in and heal the part of us that doesn't feel whole. As A Course in Miracles tells us, what we leave empty, grace will fill. If we can find the courage to surrender, then that thing that we once clung to will either stay on its own accord or be replaced by something that is beyond any of our wildest dreams. Loosen your grip, grace is coming. It might be uncomfortable at first, but I promise it would be worth it in the end. Work your light. What I am clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place. And that's a question. So the cards that we pulled were, and this is from the, would you hold this up to the actual camera? From the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck. And the cards I pulled were Valerian Root, Mother's Wort, and the Angel's Trumpet. And the book we read for, Mama's, if you could read the title of the book.
Light is the New Black.
Okay. Angel's Trumpet. Angel's Trumpet signals a time of catharsis or death. A deep emotional breakdown is due or near. You may feel lost in your own emotional despair, depression, shame, or unworthiness. But know the angels of discernment and darkness are here to support you. Coming eye to eye with the darkest feelings within yourself catalyzes the greatest awakening. Deeply pause, let go of control, and witness the broken pieces within yourself with loving awareness. The medicine of the bat symbolizes the need for a ritualistic death of relations, situations, and or aspects of life.
Put it
on. Yeah, put it on. Bat, like Angel's Trumpet, signals catharsis and rebirth, signaling literal or metaphysical death of old patterns and worn-out habits. Understand that you can reconstruct at any time, regardless of how shattered you might feel. Mother's Wort. We've got the earth here that we're connecting with today. And I'm rereading this so that I can tell the herbs what we're wanting it to do for us. Okay. Mother's Wort. And astrological ruler is Venus, and Venus is currently in retrograde during this full moon. And while I'm speaking about that, the full moon, we also have a lunar eclipse going on, full lunar eclipse during the full moon. It's in Virgo, and at this current time, also have the South Node in Virgo, which has to do with energies that we're moving away from. And it's at the same time that the full moon is in Virgo. And then the North Node is in Pisces, because it's always the opposite sign. It's the nodes are always in their opposite signs on the natal chart wheel. So we're moving more away from self-criticism and more towards spirituality and wholeness and integration of spirit into the body. And that's collectively, we're all going through that right now. Okay. Mother's Wort. Like the radiance of a lion's heart, Mother's Wort energy builds inner trust and confidence. The lion-hearted Mother's Wort is representative of the beauty we possess when we own the power of our gifts and creativity. The goddess sits centered as the lion leans on her in a state of peaceful delight, symbolizing the unwavering faith we must keep as we transcend old fears. Venus, her planetary ruler, is like a midwife to our happiness, channeling how we accept and transmit our heart's desires. Find new ways to facilitate creativity that honor and reveal your passions and strength. Devote yourself to the fertility of your gifts and courageously accept your divine destiny. And then we've got valerian, which is kind of stinky. I've got it in a Ziploc bag because everyone was saying it smelled terrible.
I have to smell it.
Yeah, go ahead. It's kind of strong.
Ooh, yeah.
162. Valerian root, Valium is actually derived from valerian root. That's where it comes from. It helps with sleep and calming the mind. 162. Okay. Valerian supports us by widening our trigger points and helping us to zoom out of a situation that might be overloading you with anxiety or stress. Remember, go easy on yourself and don't push yourself too hard to meet goals. Valerian remedies the internal parts of ourselves that can embody mouse energy. When we're overly analytical and judgmental in high trigger mode, the message here is to take measure. Although your foundation can be established with great order, there is a certain amount of flow needed in order to enjoy creativity and growth. Don't exhaust yourself in the details. Embrace your imperfections. Kind of like today, we did this online like last minute because of the weather, and I was like, I'm leaning into this. It's not a big deal. We're just gonna wing it. So it's a little bit late, and we're just gonna post a video later, but it'll be fine. Let's see. All right. Oh, did I leave this one up there for me, please? Okay. Yay! Alright. Oh, can you put these up to the...
Yeah.
I got these roses for the divine feminine goddesses that we're going to call in today. So I've got a pink candle for love, self-love, and a white candle for blessings and protection. And then I'm going to light an Isis candle for goddess Isis. And I also have a hummingbird candle because that's one of my spirit animals and it has to do with like self-love and joy. So this is a hummingbird spirit animal prayer candle. I'm going to put that up there for me. It's pretty careful. But, yeah. It comes with like little prayer things too. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of this sound. Actually, will you do the sound bowl? You did really well with the sound bowl. Right. So, do palms down to ground yourself. Take a deep breath through your nose. And slowly exhale out through the mouth. Do that 3 more times. We're going to focus on we're going to focus on our sacral chakra, and the sound bowl, you got to take your hand off there. You can put it on the pillow, but not on the actual. You're good. We're We're amateurs here. Me too. All right, start over. I'll do 2 more breaths. And so the sacral is going to be, we've got the root is the bottom, and then the sacral is above that. And that has to do with our creative energy, our self-healing energy, our sensuality, our how we create and express ourselves through art. Deep inhale through the nose. Just take another deep breath and picture divine light from the Creator, either God or the universe or whatever feels right for you. And picture that light entering through the top of your head and filling up the sacral chakra. And then breathing out and releasing. Take another deep breath, same thing. Filling up with love. Breathing out. All right. Thank you so much. So I did get a new oracle deck for this reading today, and I can put that up on the screen for me. And this is the 44 archetypes for your inner light, the Phoenix cards. And I absolutely love the artwork on these. All right. Alright, spirits in high vibration, love, light, and in the highest good collective that this is for, please guide us. I have little hands, so I'm not going to be able to really show. Alright, servant. Let's read it. I haven't really used this deck. I did one reading for myself before this. So I'm a little nervous to see what comes up. We'll see. Okay. The card of the archetype of the servant represents the qualities of devotion, compassion, and selfless service. It encourages you to express your inner power in a way that positively impacts the world and the people around you. This can be a light-filled path if you have been able to discover your strengths, abilities, and the genius within you to serve others and the world. When you have developed the ability to treat yourself lovingly and not neglect your own life in your desire to serve others, you can use your resources wisely. You recognize the value of your work and know that it is important to receive appropriate compensation for your services. This ensures a balance of give and take and helps prevent falling into dependent relationships. If you have not been able to develop a healthy sense of self-worth, you may not feel emotionally or materially valued for your service. This may be due to a deep-seated belief that you do not deserve appreciation and recognition. To receive praise and recognition, you could then prioritize the needs of others over your own. There may also be an underlying belief that we will only get to heaven if we serve others without giving ourselves the same care. This can build up anger, and it is difficult to set clear boundaries. However, when you gain a deep understanding of your inner power and your own values, you can clearly see who or what you have been serving and whether that path is still in alignment with your soul. We should ask ourselves, are we serving the light or the shadow within us? May you find the wisdom of the archetype of the servant, and may you find the strength to make your unique contribution. This card is an invitation to serve from a deep connection with people while not neglecting your own growth and development. The message: serving is not a matter of great deeds, but of the pure intention to reach out to others with kindness and support. There is often immense power and profound influence in the seemingly small moments of service. The Phoenix experience. Allow your inner voice to speak and feel your strengths and passions calling you to service that aligns with your soul. Regularly reflect on whether your motivation to serve comes from an authentic and loving place within you. So there's a light and a shadow of this archetype. The light of the archetype is devotion, compassion, helpfulness, selflessness, support, caring, charity, empathy, humility, self-awareness, balance between giving and receiving. And the shadow is dependence, sacrifice, exploitation, manipulation, oppression, victimhood, submissiveness, excessive demands, and neglect. And this is like right on the head, Virgo. It's crazy. Okay. I like it. Alright. There's a tea box right there. Do you want to make us some tea? There's some teacups up top.
Do you know, does any?
Well, yeah, whatever you are called to take. And there's layers on that too, so
Okay.
all the different ones. Okay. I'm going to use my Siddhartha Tarot. That's my religious background growing up. So for me, it's like whenever I use this one, it's for like me wanting to know like what spiritual teaching to like lean on and for the next phase of my life. Yeah.
Did you have any herbal mixture that you wanted to do?
No, not today. We're good. I'm good. I like what you pick. It's too many.
Right or left?
Left.
That's the mushroom wellness.
Ooh. Thank you. I've pulled up like 3 times today. At this card, the Ten of Pentacles, with different decks, but
I've had some dreams.
oh, please share.
I've had dreams about somebody that had passed away, and they came and they were asking me to compare them. It's my old maintenance guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, he passed away. I heard after he had left working for us, and he was asking me as he was helping me with a maintenance work order. He was asking if my current maintenance guy is better than him, and I was just telling him no, just kind of did the comparison, and then I was super super OCD about germs and just kind of having like a panic with family members, and I'm just like, hey, no, back away. I need to disinfect and clean, and it made me realize the OCD part is just letting it be. Sometimes I have too much order to things, and just kind of letting loose on that. Yeah.
That's very related. Wow. Interesting.
And then last night, my boss, one of my bosses, it was so vivid. Like, we were talking, and I asked him, do you not love me? And he looked at me, and he was just like, you're taking things personal here, huh? Like, this is professional work. Like, you have the potential to do so much. And
this is a dream.
This is like a dream, yeah. So it's like he's going on, and I'm having these emotions of like feeling like I am good enough and I'm not. And it's like, it felt like he was complimenting me, but he was also highlighting my weaknesses. So it was just kind of like, I felt the mixed emotions. Like, I felt hurt by what I was hearing, but I was also seeing that he was trying to help me grow to my fullest potential.
Maybe he showed up. Maybe he wasn't actually showing up. That was like you trying to talk to yourself. Is it somebody that you really respect?
Yes.
So maybe your higher self showed up as him because you'd be more likely to listen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Well, I've had some similar experiences. Like for when I first kind of started my spiritual journey, like I kind of felt like my grandpa showing up a lot and telling me stuff because he was like a man that I really trusted, and I was like needing to kind of have some healing with my inner masculine self. And he's like the man in my life that I had always trusted, and
you
I don't know,
safe with.
He made me feel safe to like surrender to this process, if that makes sense. It's like, hey, I'm here, and nothing's gonna happen to you. Like, you're safe. So that was good. So that's cool. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how things like Jesse's showed up before and talked to me. He was my friend that passed away, and it's just it. Sometimes it could be them, and sometimes it's you. You just don't really know.
Yeah.
But okay. So we've got the Four of Cups in reverse. Alright, let me read that one. Six of Wands, and so I'm still like a baby tarot reader. So what I've been doing is kind of looking at the imagery and doing an interpretation from the feelings that arise. So this image is of the Buddha sitting under the tree, and he's like skin and bones, meditating. And to me, this like brings up the story of when the Buddha first, if you don't know the story of the Buddha, he was a king, or he was a prince, and in Nepal, and he never saw suffering because whenever he was, before he was born, like the religious wise men that told the king that he would either become a great king or that he would become a great religious leader. And so what he did, his parents basically tried to shelter him from any type of suffering that would like make him want to like help people as like a spiritual leader. So they just try to make everything look good. And one day he decided, Siddhartha, who's the Buddha, he asked to like leave the castle, and his parents like even had like, basically they let him go out in a parade, but they like made sure all the sick people and everything like left the area. But then like when he was like riding out to see the city, he saw like an old man like peeking through the crowd, and he'd never seen like a man with like wrinkles or anything like that, like an old person. And so he like hopped off the elephant and like went running out into the crowd and like followed this man, and he takes him out into this like small village where there's like all these people that are like suffering, and he for the first time sees sickness and starvation and death. He like comes up on someone like being cremated near the river. And anyways, after that, he was so confused about everything that he left in the middle of the night and went out to seek and find out, like, he wanted to find some way to like end the suffering. And he went out into the woods, and he met these people that were like basically living off air and sun, something. And he meditated out in that woods with those people. And so whenever he was like, he became skin and bones essentially, 'cause he was there for like I think 4 months or something like that. And that led. It's kind of like whenever you go into like the depths of like darkness, and it feels so low, but it catapults you to the next level of your growth, because right after that, one day the Buddha went out of the forest and went down to the river, and he saw a man and his son in a boat, in a sailboat. And the man was teaching his son how to use the sail, and he says, if you don't put enough tension in the sail, you won't go anywhere because it'll be too limp, like the sail. But if you pull too tightly, it'll flip the boat over because you have too much tension. And then that was kind of his aha moment. Like, you can't have an extreme. Like, you can't be too extreme. It's like the middle way. And that's when he like left the forest and decided, like, you can't just like have nothing and like have no attachments or anything. Like, that's not, depriving yourself is not necessarily the road to enlightenment. Yeah. Okay. So what this brings up for me, and it's in reverse, so it's kind of like walking away from those extremes and like depriving yourself from the joys and like anything that has to do with like pleasure and things like that, because we're meant to experience pleasure in this life as well. And then Six of Wands, Priest. Okay. Sitting on a... I'm just going to read the notes on this one. Okay. Law, self-confidence, public recognition, and success. Okay, and then the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, well, first, what was the image of that? The 6 of Wands. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles is of the Dalai Lama. Spiritual guidance, long-term success, financial security, family. Okay. Interesting. So did you, do you mind if I use your chart as an example for people to do their readings? Okay. Since we already, I'm not going to do a whole lot of cards since we already did kind of that in the pre-reading, but and then I really love the Oracle card. That was great. I'm going to pull up Manaz's chart as an example as to how you can look at how the energy is going to be affecting you during the full moon this evening. Okay. Oh, and it's at 29 degrees, which is like the critical degrees. It means it's like at the most intense part. Because there's 29 degrees in each sign, and the full moon is at 29 degrees Virgo. And my ascendant is at 29 degrees Virgo, so it's like right there at it. So the full moon is going to be in your third house, which has to do with communication, has to do with siblings also. Let's see if there's any conjunctions going on with that for you. It's opposition to your Jupiter. So what I do is I'm pulling up her chart and I'm looking to see where the moon is setting in her natal chart. So it's landing in her third house. And then what you'll do is look up. So for her, she would look up Virgo in the third house, or moon and Virgo in the third house, for her to find out what kind of energy this is pulling in for her. And then also like with the north node, south node, so what she could also do is look at Pisces, or the north node in Pisces in the ninth house, to see what type of energy she wants to be moving into. So that would be that's how she would look at that. So the ninth house has to do with higher education, travel, spirituality, those types of things. So, let's see. And then what were the dreams you had? That's interesting.
So can I tell you?
Yeah. What
Okay.
came up when I was talking about that?
So I did have it was 5 of Pentacles. It just keeps coming to me, like throughout the day, throughout. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it just keeps coming up to
Okay.
me, and it's almost like it feels like deja vu,
Okay.
and
I'm listening.
I have had like this free flowing energy. I feel on top of the world.
That's good.
Yes. Um, so in the dream that I had, my maintenance guy, he had passed away. He had been at the lake and he had a heart attack. And he was younger than me. And anyway, so I had a clogged toilet. And it was like this room with a bedroom. It's all carpet, and then the small bathroom. And he came. I didn't have help. He came and he ran a snake, and that snake line popped up in one hole in the bedroom. And it was where the shit line is. And then the second hole next to it is where is just the water line. And I'm freaking out because both came up on the carpet. And I have like Isaiah, and then I have some relatives of mine, Pakistani, that I can't figure out who exactly it was, but it was a handful of them that were just nonchalantly like about to walk and do things with all this sweat stuff that just came up. And I'm just like OCD and freaking out. And what I saw is I've seen myself like that, where something grosses me out and I get into this OCD and I'm like, Isaiah, don't move, don't touch anything. And I start cleaning and doing things. And a lot of message that I've been receiving from is just, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to clean every day. You don't have to, do things every day, to feel like your life is good, in order. It feels nice, but it's also a lot of wear and tear on me. Like, I just need to just relax.
Using a lot of energy on it.
Just let it be. It's okay. Not the end of the world.
When do you remember feeling like that, like for the first time in your life, where you felt like you had to like fix everything around so that people would be safe?
I think that it, for me, Isaiah, because he was my responsibility. For myself, I didn't feel it like that with being on my own for such a long time. But for Isaiah, I had to get control of the situation within me, around me, so I can give him the best environment. I cannot repeat mistakes because I owe it to him. So that control was also
your mistakes or
my mistakes. Just, in our younger days, being careless. I can't be careless now because I'm a mom. I can't be irresponsible. Just making sure that I don't fail as a mother. Because I feel like before Isaiah, just kind of go free with the flow more. Didn't really register things, didn't pause for things, and just kind of impulsive, go, go, go. And then with Isaiah, I really had to like just slow myself down and really control the situation. The more control I gained, the more my world felt safe. That okay, like I got this. Everything's good as long as things are in order for me. And now it's like, okay, it served its purpose. So now it's just like, hey, we are safe. You can trust yourself. You can let go. Like, just because you let go doesn't mean things are gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot with Isaiah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you mind if I ask you another question?
Yeah.
And let me know if it's too personal. Did you feel like that was something that you wish that you had when you were a child?
Yes.
And you feel like that you have to provide that for your child now?
Absolutely. So the goal was always to give the love, the understanding, the safety, the support, everything that I didn't really have. And it wasn't intentional. It's culture. Things, my parents were different. So they weren't the emotional, lovey-dovey type that I needed as a child. And just like being accepting and having a voice. So I feel like everything that I didn't have, like when I took control of the situation, that whole control came with like, okay, this is what I didn't have, and this is what I'm going to make sure I give him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Very good. Okay, so the meaning of fives, which I've been seeing repeating fives all day today, actually. Change and transformation is strongly associated with change, transformation, suggesting that you're in a period of significant personal or spiritual growth. It encourages you to open to new possibilities and to trust that the changes coming your way are for your highest good. Trust the process of life and have faith that everything is unfolding as it should. Have a positive mindset. It's a reminder to maintain positive during times of change, as these shifts can lead to more fulfilling life. And manifestation, powerful sign of change, transformation, growth, spiritual guidance. It's also seen as a sign of spiritual guidance and learning, urging individuals to embrace their spiritual development and increase their power. It's reminding you of your worth and your inner power, which is super Virgo, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that is the light side of Virgo, is like knowing your worth, knowing your value, and not feeling selfish for knowing that you're worthy of like receiving things in return, and not saying that it's okay to expect that. It's, you don't want to be entitled to it, but like expecting for relationships to be reciprocal is okay. And it doesn't make you a bad person to think that to like yourself, to think that you're worthy of all the good things. And just because you know that not everyone has as much as you do, that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to want things for yourself, and to know that you're worth those things that you want.
What screams out to me, my inside, higher self, is I am more than enough. I deserve the best and the best. Like everything I deserve, I want to give myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I smile, I feel good, it feels great, and I no longer feel guilty or questioning it at all. Just, yes, that is my truth. I deserve the best.
Yeah.
I give myself the best.
So I'm sensing that the wind chimes are not going all crazy, so maybe the wind has kind of like died down a little bit. We should take the video outside. I want to see if we can. Let's go take a look at the moon now that the sun is down. Let's see if we can see it. It's gonna get dark. Oh, it's like super cloudy. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it tonight. Anyways, what I would do today is, because we have this beautiful wind coming in here, and it's kind of like, hey, we'll just move this energy right fuck out of here, you know? Okay? All that self-judgment you've been holding on to,
Let it blow away.
let it blow away with the wind. Take in a few deep breaths. Have gratitude for the work that you've done for yourself over the last month, and let's bring in, or what did I read about recently? It was when our hearts break, we don't mend our hearts. The cracks get filled with grace. So let those cracks be open, and let the spirit of the universe or the grace of God just fill in those cracks in your heart, and just make your heart bigger instead of trying to mend the pieces that are there and broken, because it's not broken. The cracks are there to enlarge your heart and make it bigger. All right. Thank you, guys.
Give me a hug.
Yeah, hugs. Oh, love you. Okay, we're gonna come out here and meditate in a minute. But you should take a moment by yourself. I wouldn't do any manifesting tonight just because there's an eclipse and that can get kind of crazy. You might get things a little too fast and it might come in a way you don't like it. So I would just focus on releasing things that you want to move out. Okay. This will work. Non-stop.